Hey, welcome back. This is lesson 1.9, divide decimals by decimals. So this is our I will be able to statements. I will be able to divide decimals by decimal numbers correctly. I will remember to divide correctly and line up correct place values. And annex zeros as necessary. I always want to make my divisor a whole number by multiplying both the dividend and divisor by, I want you to add right here, the same multiples of 10. All right, you're going to need a calculator. We're going to be doing a little exploration activity. Okay? I want you to take and type this into your calculator. So we have 10 thousandths. Oh, I better turn that on. We have 6 10,000ths, and we're going to times it by 10. Okay? We get 6 thousandths. Okay, let's do the next one. We have 6 10,000ths. This time we're going to times it by 100. We end up with 6 hundredths. Okay, let's times 6 10,000ths by 1,000. And we get, what you see happening here? What do you think is going to happen when we times 6 10,000ths by 10,000? We get 6. Okay, let's try these ones. 123 thousandths times 10. We get 1 23 hundredths. Okay, let's try this next one. 123 thousandths times 100. We get 12 3 tenths. Okay, let's try this next one. 123 thousandths. We get 123. 123 thousandths times 10,000. And we end up with 1,230. Okay, what pattern do you notice about the factors and the product? Remember, the factors are what are being multiplied together. What do you notice about those and what we get for our answer? Pause the video, write it in your own words, then unpause it and I will do it with you. But you need to have different wording than me because I want you to write it first. All right, you should have paused the video and written it in your own words. Let's see the pattern that I noticed. 100, 1,000, or 10,000. Our number gets larger, but look what happens to the decimal. The decimal was right here, and it moved one place. When we times it by 100, it moved 2 places. When we times it by 1,000, it moved 3 places. And when we times it by 10,000, it moved 4 places. There's just a 0 there. So, the number of zeros is how many times the decimal is going to move to the left. The number of zeros on the multiples of 10 in the factors is the same amount of times the decimal moves to the left in the answer. Okay, let's explore this one now. Okay, use a calculator to find these quotients. So we have 24 hundredths, and we're going to divide that by 6 hundredths. Okay, that gives me 4. All right, let's do 2 and 4 tenths, divide by 6 tenths, and we get 4. Okay, 24 divided by 6, that one you should need a calculator. That's 4. 240 divided by 60. That's 4. 2,400 divided by 600 gives us 4. So based on that, what do you think this is going to be? 24,000 divided by 6,000. Once again, we get 4. Why? These are all different numbers. So why are all of these quotients 4? The end, the divisor, and the quotient. As these numbers change, why did the quotient not change? Okay, pause the video and write in your own words what pattern you see. Okay, you should have paused the video and written what you saw. Now I'm going to talk about what I see. Let's see if we're similar. Remember, your words should be different than mine. What I'm seeing is that this right here, from 24 to 240, that's 10 times larger than 24, but 60 is also 10 times larger. This one here is 10 times larger than 240. This one here is also 10 times larger than 240. So, since the dividend and the divisor have both been multiplied by, stayed the same. So here's what I notice. As long as the dividend and divisor are multiplied by the same number, the quotient will be the same. All right, that is going to be very helpful when we're dividing with decimal numbers, because we honestly don't want a divisor that's a decimal. It's a lot easier to work with if it's a whole number. So I want you to write down right here. You can always demand this of yourself. I want to divide by a whole number. I want to divide by a whole number. This guy right here is not a whole number. But if we can follow what we figured out here, and notice what happened to move the decimal so that we didn't have a decimal in this number. There were 3 places behind the decimal. We times it by something with 3 zeros. And it just moved the decimal 3 places. So by 1, because 1 times anything is itself, the 3 zeros move the place value 3 times. Over here, when we times it by 10 with 1 zero, the decimal moved 1 place. 2 zeros, 2 places. 3 zeros, 3 places. 4 zeros, 4 places. So now do this one without a calculator. This guy needs to go away. And let's write down the steps. So the first thing I want to do is I don't want a divisor that is a decimal. So I am going to change my divisor, change the divisor to a whole number by multiplying by powers of 10. In this case, I need the decimal to move 2 places, so that's going to be 2 zeros on that. So I'm going to times it by 100. That means I have to do it to the dividend to keep it the same. If I only do it to the divisor, my answer won't work. It has to go to both of them. So now I'm going to multiply the dividend by that same number. So here we multiplied this by 100. That's going to move the decimal 2 places. So that's going to make my divisor be 26. Okay, we're going to multiply our dividend by 100 as well. And that's going to move my decimal 2 places. So that's going to give me 111.8. Now I don't have an ugly decimal for a divisor, but I have to do it to my dividend as well to keep it the same. Okay, now we're just going to divide as usual. So the only thing different about having a decimal divisor is you want to change it into a whole number before you do the dividing. All right. So first say, will 26 go into my hundreds place? It will not, so I'm going to put an X. Will it go into 11? It will not, so I'm going to put an X. It will go into 111. 26 is close to 25. 25 times 4 is 100, so I think 4 is going to be good. Let's do 26 times 4 and see what we get. 4 times 6 is 24. Regroup 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. So I get 104. 4 times 26 is 104. Okay, 1 minus 4 I can't do, so I'm going to borrow and regroup. So 11 minus 4 is 7, 0 minus 0 is 0, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So 7 is what I have left over in this place value. I'm moving to the next one. In my answer, my decimal has to match. Remember, we keep our place values the same. So this will be 78. 26 goes into 78. I'm going to guess 3 times. Let's see what happens. 26 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Regroup 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. Oh, perfect. So we're going to put 3 up here. 3 times 26 is 78. and we get 0. Okay, for time and for space, we're going to check using our calculator. So we're going to take 4.3, which is what we got for our answer, 4 3/10, times 26, and see what 4.3 times 26, and see if we get 111.8. Okay, now I'm just going to double check and show you that it worked. Let's take our original problem. 1 by 0.26. We did it correctly. Okay, you may use calculators to make sure you are understanding and thinking correctly. We still did all the work. This is just helping us know that we're doing our work correct. That's when this is a proper tool, not just quickly type that in and get an answer and not work it out yourself. All right, rate yourself 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Take a picture of it, submit it on Google Classroom with the rest of your work, and then put this back in your math journal where it belongs.